Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. In this video, we just did the first part of our garden. We used the hay from this hay bale right here. We got an extra hay bale in the winter so that this spring we could use that hay and come put it over here. And it seemed to both me and Jenica that it was going to be a lot easier, but it wasn't, and we only got this much done, like this first row of hay. And honey, do you want to explain what the hay's for?
Yeah, so all of this stuff from where our previous garden was, you don't have to till it, you don't have to de-weed it, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is lay hay down. It'll kill your grass and weeds, and it takes, I don't know how long it takes. I think it takes about a week, but I'm gonna check it after a week and look and see if everything's dead. And then you should be able to plant. You just make a little hole in your hay and put your seed right down in there. Well, and cover it up, but we're gonna cover it up with cow manure, and that's what we're doing. And in this first row here, we're gonna plant carrots and onions. And in that big patch right there, we're gonna plant potatoes. And the cool thing about doing the hay, sorry, I'm getting hay all over my face, hay pieces. With potatoes, you don't have to plant them in the ground. You could just put them, layer them in a big heap of hay, and they'll grow right in the hay.
All right, cool. So yeah, so the idea, I think we were kind of ambitious last year, but we have like a large area here for a garden, and we're just going to see how far that way we can go. I also want to show you our calves and turkeys and a few other things. In case you haven't watched it, I did a live stream earlier today, because there's the sun, and once it's sundown, if you're Jewish, then Passover starts. And so we were talking all about Passover and the sacrament, and how the sacrament is tied to this feast. Okay, here's our peach tree. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's looking pretty good to me. It has a whole bunch of leaves on it. We were worried last year that maybe deer would get to it, but it doesn't look like that's the case. And then here is our plum tree, which it looks like that's also doing really good. Okay, let's go over here. We had a couple other trees, but they died. And then we have a fig tree, and I don't know if it's dead. It's not sprouting anything. There's just like these two twigs. So maybe if you know more than we do about gardening and fruit trees, you can tell me your opinion if you think it's dead or not. If it is, then we might just get some more fruit trees next month. But anyway, so yeah, you guys, I'm going to be keeping a very close eye this next week on Israel. I was on Twitter checking out a bunch of Islamic, Arab Twitter accounts, and there's a hashtag going called hashtag Al-Aqsa is under attack, or it's something like that. It's a very like kind of inflammatory type hashtag, and there's been a lot of response to it. I'm gonna go over this way now. Are you gonna come? Okay. Okay. So yeah, and there's a lot of footage. If you want to go to my Twitter, it's in the banner for my channel, and it's also, the link for it is in the description below. But I retweeted just like all the footage that I could find of everything that happened today. It seems that Palestinian youth were throwing rocks and fireworks and stuff at police. And of course the police responded. They actually went into the mosque and made arrests, which I'm not sure if that's ever happened before. I know that I'm pretty sure that they've gone in they've gone in the mosque before, Al-Aqsa Mosque, but I'm not sure if arrests have ever been made in the mosque itself. I'm gonna have to look that up. But during the stream we were talking about how this is a very unstable time, a very explosive situation, and I'm talking relatively because, you know, it's always an explosive situation over there, but right now especially. Okay, so we got this guy right here. We have castrated him. He is a steer. He's a Holstein Jersey cross, which we didn't necessarily want. We didn't necessarily want. We wanted meat cows, but they're more expensive, but we can still use them for meat. And so we turned him into a steer, and he's doing pretty good. He got sick, like really, really bad, which is not uncommon for bottle calves, because bottle calves, since they're not on the mom's natural milk, they're a lot harder to keep alive. And if you'll recall, if you've been watching this channel for a while, there was originally 4. We had 4 calves, and 2 of them died, but we were able to save these 2. Both of them got sick. I'm gonna sit down here with you. They all got sick, but we were able to act in time. We acted immediately, and we called the vet and everything, and these 2 survived. And I was talking to the vet. No, stay here. No, don't go. We were talking to the vet about what was going on, and they were just like, you know what, bottle calves are really hard to keep alive because you never know if they got their full colostrum, you know, that first day, because it's really critical that within I can't remember if it's like 12 or 18 hours or something like that, they have to get their first thing of colostrum from their mom. And if they don't, then then it is not looking good for the calves after that. So anyway, okay, I guess he's gonna go away. Anyway, so we have these 2. We have the Jersey Holstein cross, and then this one that I was just sitting next to. He is he's also a steer. We turned him into a steer, which is a castrated bull, and he's a Angus Holstein. So we'll probably process him first for meat because he has the Angus in him. But yeah, and then next month I think we're going to try again, get another bottle calf, which every time you get a bottle calf it's a risk, but we don't exactly have the money to just buy, you know, a weaned calf, because the price goes up after that after they're weaned, because there's not really risk really after that, the same as there would be for a bottle calf. They're nibbling on grain, so they're eating grass, they're nibbling on grain. You can see that there. I just poured that when we came outside to work. So anyway, back to Passover. Just as a recap, in case you missed it. So we have Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, and the month of Nisan lining up. They're on the same month this year, which isn't always the case from what I learned. And so that heightens things, right? And then on top of that, this year is a Shemitah year. It's a sabbatical year. So it's a special Hebrew year. On top of that, according to a rabbi that we were reading about a couple of videos ago, next year is a Jubilee year, which they don't officially observe, but if the temple was here and everything was the way it's supposed to be, then it would be a Jubilee year. On top of that, Naftali Bennett's government is in trouble. A person pulled out of the coalition, which one more person to leave would make it so that they could do a vote of no confidence. And I know there's a lot of people not really happy with what's going on. And today, because of the attack or the skirmish between Palestinians and the police on the Temple Mount, part of the coalition is actually Muslim. It's a minority political group, and it's Muslims, and they're upset with what happened today, and they threatened to pull out. So what that means is that we've heard supposedly that Rabbi Kanievsky had been in talks with the quote-unquote Messiah, right? He claimed that he was in talks with Messiah, that Messiah is going to make his appearance. Kanievsky died last month, but even though we wouldn't accept that man as Messiah, of course, because we're Christian, if he is recognized by other rabbis as Messiah, he just like comes on the scene as this government is collapsing, well, he would become king. And the Muslim world would probably freak out, and understandably so, because the Messiah is supposed to be the one that makes it possible for the third temple. Hi, how you doing? And the scary thing about it, like I pointed out in the live stream, is if you're a police officer or a soldier, a commander, if you're a politician, and all the rabbis are recognizing this person as Messiah, and if you're religious, who are you going to listen to? The failing government, or the prophesied for thousands and thousands and thousands of years king of Israel? Who are you going to listen to, right? If the government tries to continue to operate or give orders to the military, who's the military going to listen to? A failing government or the prophesied Mashiach? That's just something to think about. And in years past, they've talked about him making his appearance during Passover. So if there is a guy right now that's being recognized behind the scenes as quote-unquote Mashiach, this might be a good time in his eyes to make his appearance and take over. So that's just something to think about. I don't know how likely that is, but I'm going to be watching this Passover week very carefully. Oh, you're peeing. We don't want to watch that. Gross. Let's go look at the turkeys. So, if anything happens, I will make sure to do videos about it. From what I read after the live stream, a lot of people are expecting escalation. Turkeys, come over here. Come over here in the light. Yeah, there we go. Hi. Hi. I love turkeys. They're actually, I think if they're bred or if they're raised the right way, they become tame and they actually like you. Because we had one turkey that was like that. She would follow us around. She would want to be pet. And you can see that these turkeys, they're not running away. If it was our chickens, they would be running away. But these guys are like, hi. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, I love them so much. We got 3 just in case one of them died. Because that's always a possibility with, chicks and baby poultry. But at this point, it looks like they're probably all going to survive. And all of our chicks inside the house, they are all still alive, except for one which got out of the cage. It squeezed in between the bars, and then one of our cats got to it. But if it wasn't for that, it probably would still be alive. So anyway, it's really an interesting time to be alive, honestly. And this year, just all these things kind of lining up. I know that there's been other times that things have lined up, and I think that those times could still be significant. You know, they could be things that are pointing to what's going to happen in the future, to help us give us a heads up for those that are watching. So we'll just have to see what happens. Do the Jewish feast days still matter to us as Latter-day Saints? Yes, I think they do, because even though we don't observe them the same way that Jews do, things in the latter days have happened on Jewish feast days, including when Joseph Smith received the gold plates. It was on Rosh Hashanah. Elijah came to the Kirtland Temple on first fruits. Even though first fruits was already fulfilled by Christ, well, Elijah came on that day. So that's why, even though the spring feast days have already been fulfilled by Christ, things can still happen, I think, on these days. So what kind of things could happen? Well, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Anamon could happen on one of these days. I don't know so much about Passover, but maybe on one of the other feast days. I'm kind of looking at the Feast of Weeks, otherwise known as Pentecost, Shavuot. But I've done videos on that before, so you'll just have to go back and find that, watch it. It should be under my playlist called Judaism, or I have another playlist called Israel, Jerusalem, Judaism, so basically I've tried to like put together all these playlists and name them according to topic. Some of them include material from other playlists because it's more broad in scope, but some of them are more specific. So anyway, you can go there, but I have a ton of playlists. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that this year, 2022, Hebrew year 5782, do you think that this is a special year? Do you think something could happen? Or, you know, do you think that this is just nonsense? If so, just please say so nicely in the comments below. I appreciate kindness and courtesy and civility. Yeah, just let me know what you think. So I'm going to try and do more videos outside. It's getting warmer. You know, we actually have things going on outside. Now we have animals out here again pretty soon. I'm not sure how soon, but we'll get our we'll have our chicks moved over here to the chicken coop. They'll be with the turkeys, and then once they're bigger, once I'm confident that they can get on the roosting bars in there, then we will just return to normal operations. Because like if there's a possum or something that gets into the coop, I want them to be able to get up off the floor onto the roosting bars, and that was always fine with our old flock. So that's going to be the time when we open up the chicken coop door over here. We have like this door for us, but then we have this chicken coop door where you just slide the wood, and then we just leave it open all the time, day and night, because we are not in the country. And even though there are some predators here, like possums, there's nothing that would get to the chickens or the turkeys. We did it for, I don't even know how long, maybe a year, and just nothing happened. So the possums will go after the eggs in there, but yeah. So this guy, he actually was so sick that he couldn't even get up. He couldn't stand up. And we would pick him up and he didn't have the strength to stand up. But then, you know, we got the vet involved and she gave him some stuff, and then shortly after that he was okay. So, alright, I think that's going to be it for this one. So if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also make sure to share this with anyone that is interested in homesteading or Israel, the Jewish feast days, and I'll talk to you guys later.